So as we look ahead to the assembly elections in 2012, will this be a game changer for the UPA? That's our big question tonight. We'll be looking at all the different aspects to this story in the next 60 minutes. Joining me on the program tonight, the Congress's spokesperson and Lok Sabha MP from Punjab, Manish Tiwari. So he's going to be busy for the next few weeks himself. Chandan Mitra from the BJP, Rajya Sabha MP, also the MD and editor of The Pioneer. Senior journalist and roving editor of The Telegraph, Sankarshan Thakur. Author and columnist Ajoy Bose, who's written a book on Mayawati, joins us in the studio as well. And political analyst Zoya Hassan is with us as well. Let me ask Sankarshan first. Sankarshan, the big picture first. What's at stake here as far as these assembly elections are concerned? UP and Punjab, two big states in particular. What's at stake?
No, a whole lot, and not merely the governments in Punjab and UP, because, you know, the way things are building up, it's going to be, especially what happens in UP is going to be inevitably seen as a referendum on how the UPA government at the centre is doing. There's no escaping that, and it's clear from also the kind of firepower the Congress is putting into the UP campaign with Mr. Rahul Gandhi leading it. So I don't think anyone has any illusions that this will have a huge impact on what happens at the centre.
Let me ask Ajoy Bose, before I come to the political panelists, that in your assessment on UP in particular, let's take UP first. Rahul Gandhi's leadership, as Sankarshan mentioned, it's a big test for him. He's taken a big risk because now he's taking on Mayawati, Mulayam Singh Yadav's son, head on. This really is a litmus test for him in particular, isn't it?
Tremendously. I mean, I think it's a huge risk, right? And he must be complimented for taking this risk. At the same time, I think that what is particularly daunting for Rahul Gandhi is that the Congress doesn't have much of a local leadership at the moment. And Rahul Gandhi is not quite a UP leader. And he has not been able to project himself as actually a chief ministerial candidate or the local leader. So I think that he is trying to stride both horses, and it's going to be very, very difficult when he's coming up against very strong regional leaders like Mayawati and Mulayam Singh. And the other important thing, Nidhi, here is that we're looking at the rise of Akhilesh Yadav, Mulayam's son. He's also a young leader. I think people forget that, there is another young leader rising. That's Akhilesh Yadav. And he's had fairly good response. So we'll have to look at how all these things plays out. And so certainly it's very, very important for Rahul Gandhi because, see, if he does moderately well, at least he will not be humiliated. But if the Congress gets hammered in UP, and there is a chance, then I think it will be very difficult for Rahul Gandhi to pick himself up from this.
NDTV's cricket app, Android and iPhone. Fastest scorecard, special analysis, and much more. Download free. ndtv.com/apps.